The word passion has different meanings in English. It means to be in love. We describe ourselves as being passionately in love. It also means suffering. When we speak about the passion of Jesus, we're speaking about his suffering. It also means to become passive. And that's also very relevant here. In this, final session, we're thinking about the last thing that Jesus did before he lets people do things to him. And the last thing he did was he prayed that if it's possible, there might be another way. It's a sad and difficult story. He asks his disciples to watch and pray with him, and they don't. They fall asleep on the job, in the same way that I guess many of us in our own discipleship fall asleep on the job, don't do the things that Jesus asks us to do. Jesus is alone. He pleads with God, if it's possible, take this cup away from me. But he arrives at a point where he is reconciled and able to embrace the Father's will. And then he moves from that bit of his ministry which is active, doing things, saying things, to be done unto. He goes to the cross. So I think for us, exploring the deep sadness and the feelings of this story this week, it's about saying, what are the things that I recoil from? What are the things that actually I know God is asking me to do this, but I don't want to do it? Have we avoided that? Have we neglected it? Have we wrestled with God? Can we ask God to lead us to that point of reconciliation and acceptance of his will, and how we do need each other's support in this? Recently I was with some fellow bishops from our linked diocese in Kenya, and somehow the conversation turned to tears. And they told me that men in Africa, like British men, I guess, don't cry in public. This is not the done thing. And I responded by saying, well, Jesus wept. And at first they were a little surprised. I'm not suggesting they'd never read the relevant passages, but they hadn't really engaged with them. Jesus wept at the grave of his friend Lazarus. He wept when he came to Jerusalem, and he wept in the Garden of Gethsemane. Great tears of blood, it says in Luke's Gospel, were his tears. Because he is facing the last and most difficult and most important chapter of his earthly ministry. And all of us in different ways have to face difficult decisions, have to face death itself. And we can be strengthened by this story, enabling us also to be reconciled to the Father's will.